Hello everyone, in this video we'll take a look at the damage sustained after the crash test on the Mitsubishi Evolution 10. And here's how it happened. And if you haven't watched the crash test itself yet, it's better for you to watch it first. You can go to the video using the prompt at the top or by the link in the description. In this crash test, I pushed the car by hand instead of using a 1 kilogram block of modeling clay to pull it. I pulled very sharply and strongly on the string that was tied to the platform with the car. Thanks to this, the speed was much higher and the damage turned out to be much more severe and realistic. And here is the result. This is the damage after the first collision with the block. Looks powerful, right? And for comparison, here's what the first collisions looked like before. The difference is huge. Now it truly resembles a crash test, exactly how case should appear. The entire left side of the car was crumpled almost up to the dashboard. Many people wrote that I made it without an engine, but no, the engine is definitely there, and here's the proof. It's just that the impact was so strong that it crushed it inward. This collision looked very realistic, especially in this slow motion footage. The hood crumpled very realistically, and just look at how it looks from the side. It's also funny that the fender itself stayed in place and wasn't even touched. The wheel is completely crushed, though the sill and the door should have crumpled too. Apparently, those parts of the body were a bit stronger for me. Here's how it looks from underneath. The left part shifted up to the beginning of the door, but after that, the floor is intact, and it didn't get warped. The frame rails are in place and they haven't shifted. Even if you lift the hood, you can't see the engine there. You can only see a bit of the red engine block on the right, but otherwise, the body of the car remained intact. Here you can also clearly see how badly the front part is bent. Engine components entered part of the cabin and the dashboard, and inside the cabin during the collision, the backs of the front seats leaned forward and the rear bench seat actually tore off completely. Now let's move on to the second collision, which happened to the rear part of the car. It's the same kind of picture. The right side crumpled up to the rear door, while the left side remained more or less intact. I think this also turned out to be realistic. There are a lot of dents, bends and cracks in the paint. The impact also hit the rear roof pillar. It got bent, and because of that, the central roof pillar and the front one cracked. Of course, this wouldn't really happen in reality. The metal would just bend, but it probably wouldn't tear apart like that. As we can see, the wheel ended up between a rock and a hard place again. And from above, we can see how badly the rear part is dented up to the back row of seats. And this is how it looks from below. The rear part of the suspension is all compressed, the exhaust part has shifted, but the central part of the underbody remains intact. And the third collision, with the side of the car hitting a pole, finally finishes off this Lancer, since the front part is already barely holding together. It broke off with the dashboard, and the pole reached halfway into the seat. I don't think we need to mention what could have happened to the driver. The roof pillar on this side also cracked, and the roof itself is noticeably dented and also absorbed the impact. That turned out to be very harsh. But the windshield itself stayed in place. I glued it on well, so it just couldn't come off. The entire front part is completely wrecked. This Lancer definitely can't be restored. From below, you can see how far the pole went into the cabin. Even the center tunnel got a bit bent from the collision. Not to mention the side member, which has taken on a rounded shape. These are the kinds of damages we ended up with. In this crash test, it was very tough, powerful and spectacular. Everything looked really epic. This was the toughest and most realistic crash test I've ever done. Of course, it was a shame to destroy such a high quality clay model. But that's the kind of content I make for you. That's the feature of my channel, breaking things made with my own hands and showing it to you, showing it with high quality visuals. Actually, I filmed the crash test in a new format, completely without voiceover and without a detailed explanation of what and how things would happen before the video started. The crash test itself started within the first 30 seconds of the video. It turned out to be very dynamic and not boring in my opinion. The whole point of the video is revealed very quickly, and as soon as you open the video you see what it's going to be about. Also, without voiceover, the video is aimed at absolutely any viewer from any country, whether they're from England, Japan, Spain, and so on. Everyone understands what's happening in the video, and they don't hear a language that's unfamiliar to them, and there's no need to turn on subtitles to understand what the creator is saying. But I want my videos to be accessible to everyone. And you, my viewers, have been watching me for a long time, and I've explained many times what, how and why things are done. So you already know all my crash tests. This was an experimental crash test format. If it proves itself well, I'll keep making them without voiceover. And if you like this video and want to see more like this with plasticine cars, how they get destroyed, then subscribe to my channel, like the video, and hit the bell so you don't miss notifications about new videos. After all, where else will you be able to see something like this? Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye everyone.